Economies around the world are feeling the coronavirus pinch, but a new survey shows Taiwan's problem with wage stagnation long precedes the pandemic. A report from 1111 Job Bank says over half of Taiwan's workforce have not had a pay rise in over 3 years. For workers in retail, supermarkets and department stores, the situation is even worse. They reported an average of 4 years and 3 months since their last wage increase. The report comes after the Ministry of Labour last week raised the national minimum wage by 5.2%. The monthly base rate rose from 24,000 Taiwan dollars to 25,250 Taiwan dollars, equal to just shy of $900. Some business groups oppose the size of the rise, while others say it wasn't high enough, and that a low minimum wage leads to broader wage stagnation.
You can see that in years where there are higher minimum wage growth, there were also higher median and average wage growth. And therefore, as long as minimum wage remains stagnant, it is difficult for wages across the board to also be increased.
The government last week began its latest stimulus measures to boost consumption in hard-hit sectors. Eligible people can pick up vouchers worth 5,000 Taiwan dollars. Questions remain whether the stimulus will be enough. The service industries with the lengthiest wage stagnation are also those that have been worst hit by pandemic restrictions. Zoom out, and a divided picture begins to emerge. Last week, the Ministry of Finance reported bumper export statistics, with year-on-year growth to September rising 29.2% to $39.7 billion. That rise was driven mainly by semiconductor exports. And this week, the IMF adjusted upwards its forecast for Taiwan's GDP growth.
If you look at the profit growth among Taiwan's businesses as compared to South Korea or the European Union countries, Taiwan's profit growth has actually surpassed that of wage growth over the last 20 to 30 years, which means that there is a pool of savings that businesses can actually use to tide them through this wage increase.
For now, positive GDP growth is not filtering down to average earnings. The minimum wage hike comes into effect on January 1st next year. Only then will we know if it can break the trudging cycle of wage stagnation in Taiwan. Patrick Chen and James Chater for TaiwanPlus.